Hey TMFG community, Carlo Cancino here with John Iaconetti. And in this video, we'll be revealing the RRSP trick that can turn your $1 million into $5 million of lifetime after-tax income.
Working with Canadian retirees to maximize their RRSP potential, we've discovered that the real power isn't about bigger contributions, it's about strategic timing, reinvestment, which most Canadians ignore.
And that's exactly why we're making this video today, to show you the RRSP refund reinvestment cycle, which creates compounding loops and multiplies long-term growth. Let's get right into it.
So we're starting with when to contribute. Carlo, why is contributing early often the wrong approach?
Well, it's simple math. It's the tax rates. The value of your RRSP deduction is based on the tax you pay on your next dollar of income. Most people contribute early when they're only in the 26% tax bracket. They are wasting the deduction. So, the goal would be to play the tax game. Contribute when you pay the highest tax and plan to withdraw when you pay the lowest. But when is that highest tax rate?
Well, that would probably be your peak earning years. That's when your salary spikes and you get a big bonus, or you cash out stock options, pushing you into the top tax bracket, often around 53.5%. So let's show you the difference.
Sure. So a $10,000 contribution at 26% yields a $2,600 refund. The exact same $10,000 contribution in a peak year at, say, 53.5% yields a $5,350 refund. That's almost twice the refund for the same dollar.
That initial precision is key. You wait, save your contribution room, and use it when your refund gives you the maximum value.
That's exactly it. You turn every $10,000 contribution into a much larger asset. That $5,350 refund is the seed for the next step, the refund reinvestment cycle.
We've secured the maximum deduction, so we have that big refund, say $5,350. The crucial second step is the refund reinvestment cycle. What is the number one psychological mistake Canadians make here?
Well, typically when you get that refund, you spend it on a vacation, new purchases, and you immediately break the growth cycle. They took a tax win, but they sacrificed decades of future growth. So instead, we use that refund to create an exponential wealth engine. But how do we do it?
We recommend immediately reinvesting that refund. Split it. Put a portion back into your RSP if there's room that permits. That will generate some new, smaller tax refund, maybe even next year. That's a self-feeding loop. And the remainder, sweep it directly into your tax-free savings account. You've instantly created two powerful layers, the tax-deferred RSP, which will be taxed later on in your retirement, and the fully tax-free TFSA, which would never be taxed.
So the contrast is clear. Saver A spends the $5,350 refund. Saver B reinvests it at 7%. Let's look at after 20 years, Saver B has potentially over $20,000 just from that single refund, while Saver A has zero. That's the power of disciplined reinvestment. But growth eventually ends, which is why we should prepare for the withdrawal phase and the critical conversion into a RIF.
So your RSP is large. The next strategic maneuver is mastering the RIF conversion strategy. The government deadline is age 71, but why is waiting until the last minute a smart move?
Well, because every day your money is in the RSP, it's entirely tax deferred. The second you convert it to a RIF, now you're obligated to start taking minimum withdrawals, and that income is immediately taxed. So by delaying the RIF conversion, you maximize the tax deferred runway.
That's exactly it. You get 6 more years of uninterrupted, tax-sheltered compounding if you convert at age 71 versus 65. So this could be essential for protecting a large portfolio.
But you must also coordinate that RIF timing with your CPP, old age security, and other pensions you may have. The biggest mistake is the income spike. Starting all streams at once can instantly push you into that higher tax bracket, and that's wasting all that arbitrage we've built. But a large portfolio can still grow even with mandatory withdrawals.
That's exactly it. The mandatory withdrawal rate starts small, around 5.28% at age 71. If your portfolio returns are higher than that rate, your compound balance growth is still positive. The key is to plan now, well before age 71.
Okay, so now we've converted the RIF and the mandatory withdrawals have begun. We can introduce the low withdrawal amplification, the strategy of taking out only the minimum required.
This is all about respecting compounding growth in early retirement from 65 to 75, when your portfolio is at its absolute largest. Taking large, unnecessary withdrawals here does maximum damage to future growth.
Essentially, you're selling off the investment principal that has the longest time left to compound.
That's right. You take out $10,000 today, but that same money would be worth nearly $39,000 in 20 years. By minimizing withdrawals, you are doubling your compounding potential. So, if a retiree needs extra income, where do they draw from first?
Well, you could use your TFSA or non-registered funds first. This is the bridge strategy that protects the RRSP. TFSA withdrawals are tax-free, protecting the RRSP where every dollar you take is taxed as full income.
This also protects you from bad market timing. If you take large RRSP withdrawals during a market downturn, you're selling low and permanently crippling your principal. Low withdrawals keep the wealth engine safe.
Right.
We now move to tax bracket coordination, a strategy for spreading out your income over your entire retirement to pay the least amount of tax. We must practice tax smoothing. The goal is to avoid a tax cliff. You want to make sure that you're in the lowest tax rate on your total annual income, RRSP, CPP, old age security, and pension every single year. This prevents a sudden jump into a higher tax bracket. So let's review a quick example.
Sounds good. Okay, so if your income is $50,000, that's 30% tax, and you take an extra $20,000 from your RRSP, you could push that last dollar into the 40% tax bracket. You've unnecessarily inflated your tax bill. Smarter planning keeps your taxable income under that threshold.
And the most painful penalty, the old age security clawback.
Well, it's a double penalty. If your net income exceeds the threshold, and that's just over $90,000 of net income, your old age security payments are reduced. By taking a careless RRSP withdrawal, you trigger the clawback, essentially paying a super tax. So, proper coordination isn't just about saving tax this year, it's about minimizing the clawback penalty and maximizing your lifetime net income. So, we've built the complete, comprehensive RRSP maximization system, the framework that turns good retirement into a legacy. The big refund from your peak contribution becomes the principal you protect with low withdrawals. The tax efficiency you gain from coordination preserves the tax game you built initially.
So what's the result? The couple who uses this coordinated system of timed contributions, refund reinvestment, and tax-optimized withdrawals will have a net after-tax wealth 2 to 3 times larger than those who do not plan. This powerful framework needs a practical plan. So what's the first step?
Well, you start with a contribution roadmap. You project your salary to find your peak earning years. Intentionally save your RRSP contribution room until that optimal time. Then you create the automated refund reinvestment plan, where the money goes straight from the refund into your TFSA or back into your RRSP.
And what about for the withdrawal phase?
Well, you should be modeling your RRSP conversion timeline. Simulate your taxes from age 60 to life expectancy, say 95, and you're coordinating RRSP withdrawals with CPP and old age security to avoid the clawback and tax bracket jump. This requires working with a competent financial advisor to ensure annual checkups and adjustments. Now that you understand the RRSP trick that turns $1 million into $5 million and how peak earnings contributions, refund reinvestment, and strategic RRSP management work together, you can implement this proven wealth multiplication system for Canadian retirement. But don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all the social channels. We release new episodes every Thursday.
And most importantly, if you want help implementing this comprehensive RRSP maximization strategy for Canadian retirement wealth building, click the link below to watch a short video we've created that walks through exactly how to optimize your retirement plan in Canada.
Stop paying the optional high tax price. Start treating your money like $1 million asset it is.